Hey, it's Phil. Um, what I got for you tonight is the tale of two raccoons. Uh, what I wanted to do today was I wanted to go to a couple of casinos that I normally went to, but only to spend the money that was on the cards. Because if you get these cards that they give you, if you become a member of the casino club, they will give you free money to bet on, and they will give you free food. They will also at times gift you nice gifts. So I definitely recommend if you ever go to these casinos and you're going to go more than once, make sure you get the card. So anyway, I started driving up the road, and I was determined to not uh, take the standard ways that I went. I kind of got driving around, just looking around because I had plenty of time. I've got nowhere to go and all day to get there, so there's no reason to, try to make it an express run. Anyway, so I wound up driving up by my old job that I had up till February 1st of this year. Not much looks like it's changed up there, and then when I left there, I went down some country roads, and I went to this old gas station I used to always go to. But after that I went down these country roads I hadn't gone down before because I put the GPS on, and I decided I didn't want to go the way the GPS was going. But the thing you got to remember, if you leave your GPS on, if you leave Google Maps on, and you leave the destination in, and you drive off of the map, it will actually reroute you. So it will find ways for you to go. And it found me some just amazing, small, tight Virginia up and down back roads to go up to Charlestown on. And I was on my way up there, and this road, if it was sunny, and if it was clear, I'd have been doing probably 50 miles an hour. But it's a country road. It's like this. And it's, we call them roller coaster roads when I was growing up. The kind of roads that the car gets air on if you go too fast. Anyway, but I was behind a guy in a Craftsman van. He had a ladder rack on. He had some stuff on top of it. And he was doing the speed limit or below, which was 35, and I wouldn't have gone that much faster either, because it was very dark and it was kind of dangerous. The road was kind of narrow, so I wouldn't have been doing 50, not at night, not on this road. And we were just chugging along, and he was, as he come up over hills, he would go slower. And this one hill he came over, we started going down the hill, and I saw him hit his brakes, and then he kept rolling. And I looked under his van because my light's underneath the van, and I see this raccoon run out from in front of his left front tire. Now he's moving forward. It runs out of the left front tire, runs over to run out of underneath the van, hits the back tire, turns around, and the guy's just going 20, and I'm not pushing him. Turns around, runs in front of the back right rear tire, turns. I don't know how his tail missed under the tire, but he ran in front of the rear tire and got away and did not get hurt. And I hit my brakes because I thought for sure he was getting crushed. I said, oh my God, I'm going to watch this little character die. And when that van moved off, that little raccoon, and he wasn't that little, he was sort of medium sized, because they can be tiny, they can be like a year old, and then they can be medium sized, and then they can be monstrous. But this was about a medium sized raccoon. And when he ran over to the side of the road, there was a bush that the base of the bush was bare. And he ran over to the bush, and I swear he had these big saucer eyes on him, and he was looking right where he almost lost his life in the road, like he had just pooped his raccoon suit, and he was holding on to the base of the bush, looking at the road. It was the best thing I'd seen in such a long time because he got away with it and he was safe. He looked so cute and so scared, but he made it. And I felt so good about that going up the road. I'll never forget that as long as I live. To look at that raccoon with his little hands on the base of the tree, and he was like this, and he was looking out the road like this, like a little kid, you know, like it scared the crap out of himself. And but he got away, and he was healthy, and he didn't get hurt. And I was like, thank you, Lord. I was so happy about that. And I went up to Charlestown, and I used the money on my card, and I walked out. I didn't spend any money, and that was the number one thing about this whole thing was don't spend any money. Just spend the money that the casino gives you. So I walked out, you know, and I'm like going, well, I already went to one small casino that I had a card in, and then I went up to Charlestown and I had a card in, and I'd spent the money on both of those places. Some of these times they give you quite a bit of money, and if you swipe your card when you go in, it enters you into contests, and you can win lots of money. And you don't have to bet anything. You just have to be a member. So, anyway, so I was thinking about going to MGM, and the one thing about MGM I don't like is the location of it, because over the hill, at the top of the hill at MGM is Southeast DC, and there's a lot of crime in that area, and there are professional car thieves in that area. And they are professional. They're every bit as professional as I was when I used to install furniture. These guys are good at what they do. And if they see something they want to steal, they're going to get it. And the things they like to steal is they like to steal Hondas, Toyotas. They like to steal stuff they can get money for, you know. They're not looking for stealing something that's real flashy, too, because the police see that a mile away. So anyway, I kind of decided, I don't want to go to MGM. And I did the same thing I did before. I went down to this shop in Berryville, Virginia. It's called, I think it's Woody's Stop Shop. It's just a little hole-in-the-wall place. One thing I would beg you to do, if you buy lottery tickets, buy them from a small store that's owned by one person or a family or something like that. Don't go to the 7-Eleven. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't go to Walmart, because if you hit something big, the Virginia Lottery pays that store and pays that family a big chunk of money that they could really use. So anyway, Woody's Stop Shop, I went down there and I got my tickets. And I drove away from there. I said, I don't want to go home the way I always go home. So we'll play with the GPS. And I put in MGM, and I was on my way down to MGM. And I was kind of like, you know what? I don't feel like risking my car down there. I mean, is $60 really worth risking my car? And the weather was a little crazy and cold, and it acted like it was wanting to ice. So I was like, I drove off on 15 towards 15. I put the GPS on, and it took me down this other back road, and I'm going down this back road. And I was feeling good too, because man, that raccoon that got away, he made me feel so good. That look on his little, beautiful little face, man. He had little baby eyes that was this big. And he was so happy. And, he's just scared to death, but I was happy that he got away. So anyway, I'm going down the road. And I come on another one of these roads like this. Is turns and this, and dangerous. These roads are dangerous. You never want to stop on these roads, because if you stop on these roads, especially at night, when I was a teenager, we used to go down these roads like crazy people. And I mean, the speed limit's 35, we would be doing 70. And if you come over a hill at 70 and there's a car stopped in the road, you're going to hit them. And if there's somebody in the road, you're going to hit them too. So anyway, I'm going down this road, and I see these cars, and I see a car and a truck in front of me. And they're like, I guess a quarter mile in front of me, and we're going up and down the hill. And I'm not trying to close up on them or anything. But then I come down this hill, and I see the truck goes out wide. And he comes back in the lane. I was like, uh-oh, is there like a pothole in the road here? And when I come down, I put my high beams on, and I saw something that broke my heart. There was a little, like, 1-year-old raccoon had just got hit, and he was dying. He was in the street. He was looking up at the sky. He wasn't moving his rear legs, but his front paws was doing this, and he was moving his little mouth, and he was going like this. And I drove around him because I knew what I'm looking at. I know he's dying, and I was so scared because, like I said, these roads at night, you cannot stop on them. So I drove down, and I said, man, I got to turn around. Got to help this little critter. And I turned around, and I was going to put my lights on him and put my lights in a way so that if anybody was coming to see me when I got back, I drove up to him, and he was laying on his side like this, and he looked like he was sleeping. He looked just like a little baby sleeping in a bed. And I wasn't going to leave him like that. I wasn't going to leave him in the middle of the road to be mashed in the road like that. And I went down and turned back around and came back and got a stick, a long stick, because you cannot touch these animals. You can't put your hands on them. And I pushed his little body and got him up in the grass. And I came home. And I felt so bad for that little guy. I know it don't make no sense. They get hit every day. I mean, squirrels get hit, raccoons get hit, groundhogs get hit, even buzzards get hit, and deers get hit all the time. But when you see it, man, it's tough to take. And his little hands reaching up to heaven. And he was dying. I mean, he must have had a broken back and a smashed head. I saw when I came back to him that there was blood coming out of him. But it just struck me the randomness of two animals and two completely different outcomes, and how random life is. And I said my goodbyes to my cat is rubbing the tripod of the camera, little knucklehead. But I said my goodbyes to the little critter that I pushed out the road, and I put my mind back to that little bastard that got out the road, and his little baby face, man. I'll never forget that, and I'll never forget the other critter. And I just wanted to say that no matter what you do, remember that's how random life is. And that we need to protect ourselves and act in a way that we are always the one standing by the bush and not the one in the road reaching up to God. I miss that little... I would love to see that little critter run off in the bushes. But he didn't. But the other one did. So just be aware that please be careful out there. Please watch yourselves. And just take care of yourself, and God bless, okay? God bless.